So one of the biggest and most interesting things out of Throne of Eldraine is its mono-color support. And you can see that show up in cards with Adamant. Like Slaying Fire here, for example. It's an instant that does 3 damage to anything, but if you hit its Adamant, which means you spend at least 3 red mana to cast the spell, then it deals 4 damage instead. And there's one card in the set that takes this to its absolute extreme, which is Sundering Stroke. Sundering Stroke has basically Mega Adamant. It's a 7 mana spell that does 7 damage divided across 1, 2, or 3 targets. But if you hit Mega Adamant, if every mana you spend to cast a spell is red, then it does 7 damage to each of those targets instead. So instead of saying, splitting up 7 damage amongst these different targets, 2 here, 2 here, 3 there, you just go 7, 7, 7, bam. And that can be your opponent's face as well. So you can just hit your opponent in the face for 7, blow up 2 of their creatures. Like, 7 damage is going to kill almost anything. And so that's what this deck is aiming to take advantage of. So it's a 7 mana sorcery, and all that needs to be red. So it's a little tricky to do in a budget deck, but I think we managed to pull it off. So the biggest piece of our combo is Runaway Steamkin. Runaway Steamkin says whenever you cast a red spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then you can remove 3 counters from it to add 3 red mana to your mana pool. So the idea is that you stick a Runaway Steamkin early, you play a bunch of spells, such for example, Light Up the Stage, you can cast for 1 mana, and Bone Crusher Giant, you can stomp for 2 mana. In general, you just play a bunch of spells, get a bunch of counters on your Runaway Steamkin, and then you can take the mana off, do a Sundering Stroke, and kill your opponent. We also have Burning Prophet as a payoff because a lot of our spells are non-creature. It's not nearly as explosive as Runaway Steamkin, but if we do end up having a big turn, where we're maybe not playing Sundering Stroke, maybe we have a bunch of counters on our Steamkin, we're removing it to play Light Up the Stage, to basically draw a bunch of cards, and playing a bunch of Shocks and Slaying Fires. This is going to get pumped up as we do it, and we're kind of digging through our deck to find our 2 copies of Sundering Stroke. Another great card in this style of deck is Bone Crusher Giant, because it's basically a mana sink in a sense. It can be 2 mana, it can be 3 mana, but really if you look at it, you can spend 5 mana on this across two different things, so it kind of pays off the fact that we're making a lot of mana. Another payoff is Saheeli, which is in our deck just a mono red. It's 1 red. But again, it's paying off the fact that a lot of these are instants and sorceries and planeswalkers that we're playing in this deck. So we can basically, the idea usually isn't to win with Saheeli, the tokens you make with Saheeli. It's more to kind of clog up the board, stall out, maybe get in a little early damage, so that we can clean things up with Sundering Stroke in the end game. And another kind of essential piece of this puzzle is Chandra, Novice Pyromancer. So she again is another way in mono red that we can make mana with her -1 ability. She can make 2 red mana. So that really, we can go turn 4 play Chandra, turn 5 play a land upticker, and we can immediately play Sundering Stroke for 7 mana, all of it red. There's also some additional upside with +1/+0 to all elementals. We do have Runaway Steamkin, so if we have a big 4/4 Steamkin, she can do +2/+0 to make it a 6/4, which is not nothing. And then she also has her minus ability to, just shocking stuff. We can finish out the game with her, or we can pick off a pesky creature or whatever. And then we kind of have a one of fun of, which is Circara the Bold. The deck was kind of needing some more card advantage, so I threw her in there. If she sticks, she's very, very powerful, especially in our deck, because we have so many instants and sorceries that deal damage. She just becomes this, draw X amount of extra cards per turn. She can really kind of combo off, but the problem with her is she's a 5 mana 3/3, and there's just a lot of removal that kills that. So just a one of. When she does go off, she is pretty good, but we don't want to really load up on this effect. And really, if we weren't playing a budget deck, we wouldn't be playing her. We would be playing a planeswalker or something to get that card advantage. But in our budget deck, this is kind of the best we got. And then the last piece is Merchant of the Veil, and this is something I actually added mid-matches, so there may be some games you see that I don't have it in my deck. Again, I wanted some sort of consistency. This is sort of a mana sink, in addition to just being a way to kind of fix our early hand with the Haggle ability. We can also play it out, and then with all the extra, a lot of red mana we're making, we can kind of churn through our deck with its activated ability. I don't know about Merchant. I'm going to have a section at the end of the video where I talk about potential upgrades you can make. So if you have some of the upgrades to talk about in terms of card advantage, I would just run those over Merchant of the Veil and Circara, because really these are just there to kind of fix things, because most of the good kind of card fixing, card advantage in red is rare, so I just really didn't have a room for it. In our sideboard, we just have kind of a standard suite of red sideboard. Reckless Airstrike can help us deal with artifacts like Witch's Oven and maybe some flyers if we run into an occasional flyer deck. Red Cat Melee against other red decks. Fry against Teferi decks and other decks of that nature. Scorching Dragonfire for decks where we want some additional removal. Unchained Berserker is actually better than I had expected. Just good against, again, this can't be bounced by Teferi. It has Pro White, which just is actually more effective than I expected. Flame Sweep to deal with decks that are going wide, and Slaying Fire as just an additional, if our opponent's playing something like Questing Beast or other creatures with 4 toughness, we can bring in another Slaying Fire. Yes, and that basically covers it. Again, this is a only 8 rares. We have our 2 Sundering Strokes, we have our 2 Bonecrusher Giants, and we have our 4 Runaway Steamkins. The rest of it is all commons and uncommons. But again, I'll have a section at the end talking about if you have some additional wild cards, or if you already have some of these extra rares, I'll recommend you can just throw them in and take out some of these commons and uncommons. So again, we're looking to kind of combo off in a sense. We want to get in some early damage, and then just kind of build up a bunch of mana and finish things off with Sundering Stroke. So we'll see if we can do it. Yeah, on to the games. Alright, playing against Sero 13, and not the best hand. I guess we keep this. We don't have any way to really turn on light up the stage, so it's going to be a... Okay. I feel a little bit better. Okay, we didn't want to see another land, but I feel a little bit better now that these Lava Coils and Slaying Fires are going to definitely have targets. That was the one worry with this hand. If our opponent's playing something that doesn't really respond well to removal, we could be in bad shape. Oh, wow, okay. Well, looks like they're gonna get a draw off that at least. Maybe we should have not tried to remove it, I don't know. I think we probably should have anyway. Okay. So I think we just go ahead and Slaying Fire the Innkeeper. We just want to cut off this card draw if we can. We could have run out this Healy there, but that just, it goes down to 1. Okay, it would have died, so I'm kind of glad we didn't now. Okay. Shock is good, so I think what we do here is place Healy and just plan on shocking this Shepherd of the Flock. So, pass turn. Actually, okay, while they have no mana, we're going to shock this Fairy Guide Mother, because we can just block the Shepherd of the Flock. This is a little bit worse if they happen to pull removal off the top and can get our blocker out of the way, but if they're using removal to kill our tokens, we're not in bad shape anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna exile our Healy, that's fine. Okay, we're just gonna... I guess we get in. There's a world where we want to have this mana discount. We will light up the stage. Spectacle cost. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and we'll Chandra. I mean, there's a potential here that he's holding up another Shepherd of the Flock and can save his Shepherd of the Flock, but that still puts him back a bit, so I think we do it. Yeah, it looks like he does have it, and that's okay, because we get her off the board, so it's not going to be attacking our Chandra. We have drawn a lot of lands, though. We're hoping to draw pretty much anything but lands at this point. Wow, okay, another Conclave Tribunal. Oh my gosh. Yeah, alright. Pass turn. We have flooded pretty insanely here. Get in for 5. Okay. So we can't shock one of his creatures because he'll just bounce it back with Shepherd of the Flock. which will kill our Bone Crusher Giant. So all we can really do here is shoot our opponent in the face and play out the Bone Crusher Giant. And pass turn. He can bounce back the Fairy Guide Mother and continually reuse the pump effect. That's a pretty cool little combo. So we're going to be taking 5 at least here, potentially more if he's got more pump spells. Yep. Okay, looks like probably just 5. Okay, so if we can draw some removal for this Fairy Guide Mother, we at least kind of stabilized. Oh. Or we're just gonna draw lands. Okay, no attacks. Yeah, not good. So he's gonna be able to force us to double chump here. Yep. I don't think we have a draw that it's definitely not Burning Prophet. All right, so we'll scoop it up. That game we just essentially drew all lands, and not much you can do when that happens. So let's see. Green-white adventures. Flame Sweep is probably good against them. Anything else? I guess Fry is good against some of their stuff. I think we just go up to Flame Sweeps, go up a few of those, and that's probably it. We'll go down Circara, go down one of the Slaying Fires, and go down one of the Saheelis and run it like that. So really we just pretty desperately needed to draw action there for most of that game. But hey, sometimes that's how it goes. They had two answers with those enchantments. Okay, I think we keep this on the strength of Flame Sweep, and just hope we draw into some finishers. Bone Crusher does survive the Flame Sweep, so we can go ahead and play that out without having to worry. Sure. Ooh, Steamkin's good. Steamkin's very good. Just gets in for a chunk of damage. We'll play Saheeli, pump up our Steamkin, get in for 2, and this is more what our opponent wants to be doing. They could potentially get rid of our Saheeli here. We'll see what they do. Okay, they're just going to play the Lovestruck Beast. So we will... I think we just kill the Lovestruck Beast here, so we'll hit this Lovestruck Beast with our Lava Coil, then hit it with a Stomp, and get in for 4. We're trying to set ourselves up so if we top deck, our big finisher spell, we can like kill our opponent on the spot more or less. So we need to get them down to, you know, a lower life total than this. Okay. Oh wow, another Steamkin. So I think what we do, I think we Flame Sweep first. Pump. Get rid of 2 of their creatures. Play out our other Flamekin, pump up our first one, and then get in with both these creatures. Again, we're just trying to get them low enough where we can kill them with our searing, with our big 7-mana burn spell. So, okay, our opponent scoops it up. Okay, so that Flame Sweep did look pretty good there. We were able to really stymie a lot of their effort. Anything else we want to bring in? I don't think so. We'll just run it back like it is. We keep getting these hands that are pretty land heavy. Again, I think we'll keep it just because we have Steamkin and Light Up the Stage. Steamkin is just pretty much what our deck is built around. It does everything we want to do. It's a payoff for playing red, and it's a payoff that we can use our big mana for. Oof. Okay. Not good. Yeah. Opponent's leaving up the mana to rescue it if we try to kill it. So I think instead we'll just run out our Steamkin. Yeah, opponent draws a card. Glass Caskets or Steamkin, sure. So what we're going to do here is just Flame Sweep. Just to cut off their card draw. Given that they were leaving up that rescue man, I think I am going to Flame Sweep here. Yeah. I was considering playing Burning Prophet and just shocking the Innkeeper. But it was going to be hard to get a lot of value out of that Flame Sweep when they're holding up rescue. Okay, there's our Sundering Stroke, so we'll Burning Prophet, and we'll shock the human. And scry this land to the bottom. Pass turn. I killed the human then because I know they have a lot of pump spells, so I was a little afraid of waiting until their turn, so we'll just take 5 here. Okay, another Steamkin's good. So we're almost at our Sundering Stroke. So I'll play this Steamkin. Play to light up the stage. We do not need 2 of them. Okay, both good cards. We can kill their Lovestruck Beast again next turn. And no attacks. They will probably be able to rescue it in response, but that's okay. Okay, just playing the Shepherd out. That might mean they have 2. I guess they could potentially pick their Shepherd back up, replay it again, keep pumping Pell Collector. That's kind of a cool combo. This is an interesting deck. I like our opponent's deck, but our opponent... I guess he did just put himself in a position where he couldn't... So let's see. What we're going to do is Bone Crusher first, so that if they're gonna escape, they should do it now. Yeah, I'll keep it light up the stage. Okay. We'll hit them with a Lava Coil. So either they don't have an escape or they're kind of made them use it at an inopportune time. Sure, okay. We're alright with this because we still get to play our Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. And maybe we should have just scryed till we hit a land, now that I think about it, but I'll get in with Burning Prophet, see if they want to block that. Sure, we're okay with this trade. I think we do play the Bone Crusher. This puts us off of the mana we need to Sundering Stroke next turn, but I think we can wait on this Sundering Stroke. We can just light up the stage next turn. Yeah. One makes a 1/1 and probably replays their Lovestruck Beast, yeah. Sure. We will trade. I think we've got the long game with the Sundering Stroke, so we're not in a big rush here. Okay. Light up the stage. Yeah, Mountain, Runaway Steamkin. And next turn we can do the Sundering Stroke. So I'll pass turn. And next turn's going to be good. We're going to hit 3 different creatures for 7 damage apiece. I mean, and maybe even our opponent for 7 if we feel like it. I don't think that works how you want it to, opponent. We still got the mana to Sundering Stroke next turn. Okay. Play the Shepherd of the Flock, sure. Alright. So now we're gonna hold off on the Chandra for a turn, and we're just gonna absolutely decimate our opponent here. So hit, hit, and hit. And everything is gonna take 7. I'm gonna pump both of our Steamkins and get in for 4. Next turn we can play Chandra, kill their last creature. We're looking pretty good. I got another Love Struck Beast, alright. Okay, we're just gonna kill one of our Steamkins. That's fine. Okay, we'll play Chandra. We're just gonna kill their 1/1 Seers. They won't be able to attack with their beast, hopefully. So, 2 damage there. 2 damage there. And get in for a big chunk. Pass turn. We can start dinging them with this Chandra. Oh, and that's game. So we'll ping him in the face for 2, and Slaying Fire him for the rest. And that's game. So yeah, took down a match against Green-White Adventures, a pretty tier deck, and pretty cool deck. I actually liked all the little synergies. I hadn't really seen Green-White Adventures in action, but yeah, Big Red just took him down. Sundering Stroke, when you turn Sundering Stroke on, when you do its full 7 mana, 7 red mana, 7 damage to everything, it is just unbelievable. Like, you saw, we just dinged our opponent in the face for like half their life and killed 2 of their creatures and swung in with our whole board. Like, it's kind of deceptive, because when you look at it, you're like, well, if it doesn't kill them, you know, is 7 damage really, is it worth it? But by clearing out 2 other things, because 7 damage is going to kill whatever you're hitting with the 2 other things. By clearing out 2 other things, you're getting your whole board in. So really, you're usually hitting them for a lot more than 7 damage, as you kind of saw on that turn. Anyway, yeah. So, great performance of the deck. Sweet. Alright, playing against Redbeard, and we will go first. Okay, can't keep that one. This is better. This is better. Okay. We'll keep this, and I think we just go down to Merchant of the Veil. And plan on doing something like Shock, light up the stage next turn. Get the card draw going. Potentially we could stomp something if our opponent plays something worth stomping, but they will. Okay, so I think we're just gonna do this, try to get to our lands on time. Shock our opponent. Sure, they're gonna opt in response. So a blue deck playing opt, so maybe one of the flash decks, blue-red flash, blue-green flash. Spectacle. Okay. That's good. Okay. We'd love to play the Steamkin here, but we're just gonna use these while they've got them. So, 2 damage to our opponent's face. Wow. Main deck Dovin's Veto. Okay. Pass turn. So it looks like, rather than Flash, this is a control deck. So I'm guessing Teferi is about to come down. Maybe not. Okay, we'll just run out Steamkin. Opponent opts. The problem here, if they go to Fairy, we can't kill it. That's one of the biggest annoyances with the Fairy, is if you have removal for it at instant speed, you can't even kill it, right? Because by the time it's hit the board, you can't cast instants anymore. So we'll see. Oh, okay. Just a Gadwick draw 1. Not the worst. Sure. Okay, so we will play Burning Prophet. Play Lava Coil. Yeah, we'll play Chandra. And attack for 3. Pass turn. Next turn we can Chandra. Well, it'll depend on what our opponent does here. If they have some sort of Wrath, then we won't be doing that. There's the Teferi. We're okay with this.
You'll thank me later.
Yep, just gonna bounce the Steamkin.
I am not making this up as I go.
So what we're gonna do is just play Steamkin, stomp the Teferi. Weirdly enough, we don't really need another Steamkin at this point. I think we just want card advantage. So we'll attack, pass turn, and now we can play Chandra here next turn. That'll be pretty good. Even just ticking up Chandra, that's going to give us a 5-3 and a 2-3, so 7 damage. Yeah, I think we do it. I mean, it could get countered, but if our opponent's just countering our stuff and we have all this damage coming at them, that's not so bad either. Okay, do Govin's Veto, sure. Put a mount to the bottom. Attack for 5. And we got them pretty close to dead. This Slaying Fire plus Shock means they're at a virtual 2. So if we can get them to tap out ever, that'll be good. Okay. While they're tapped out, I say we just kill them. Slaying Fire to the face. Put this at the bottom. I don't know why I'm actually scrying, because they're just dead here. Yeah, our opponent thought they had us, but actually we had them. Good old Slaying Fire. So that shows the power of Slaying Fire right there. Just 3 mana, 4 damage to the face is a lot. So blue-white control. I guess we bring in Fry. And I guess that's, I mean, we could potentially bring in like Unchained Berserker, but that doesn't even seem that good here. I think we just bring in the Fries, go down the Lava Coils, and I guess Unchained Berserker is maybe better than a Lava Coil. Scorching Dragonfire might also be good because it can go after Planeswalkers. That's probably better than Unchained Berserker, actually. So we'll go down, I don't know, maybe, you know, let's try the Unchained Berserker, because it can't get bounced by Teferi, so maybe that'd be pretty useful in this matchup, actually. So, we're probably going to have a harder time this game. We'll definitely keep this hand. Probably going to have a harder time. Our opponent, you know, control decks like games 2 and 3 generally better, because they can side into the particular answers they need for a given matchup. So it might be a little more difficult to get our stuff going, depending on what answers they're going to have. Okay, we will just run out this Steamkin, though. No fear. I mean, the only thing that gets it there, I think, is Essence Capture, so... But they probably have, you know, things like Prison Realm, Glass Casket, those sort of cards to tax our creatures. Okay.
I'm known for my excellent timing. I'll protect you.
Can deal with that. Little Mountain, Steamkin, Shock the Fairy. Pass the turn. That was still a good turn for them, even though we had an immediate answer. That's the power of cards like the Fairy is, I mean, it replaced itself, right? They spent 0 cards in that exchange. Okay, so I think we attack first. Light up the stage. Huh. Yeah, we got it. Then we play Runaway Steamkin. Put a counter on it. We play... Let's play Burning Prophet. I mean, we're playing into a Wrath here, right? But I still think this is the right way to go about it. And we'll pass turn. We're not actually... Oh, I guess we could have played a land there and played Unchained Berserker. Whoops. Okay, that was a mistake. I should have definitely played Unchained Berserker. But I don't think we're beating a Wrath regardless. So playing around a Wrath, yeah. Okay, so they have it. I just don't think we were going to be able to handle that anyway, so they are Saheeli and fast turn.
Let's see how you work.
So reminder, this could be a Scathing Dragonfire or whatever that card's called, so let's look at it through that lens. Would this be better as what it is, or a Dragonfire? Ooh, Serkira's pretty good. So I guess we just play Berserker. I mean, they're gonna start making tokens here, and Berserker just gets right through them, so that's something. Okay. I don't think it would have made a difference. Okay, so we do have a shock here. Problem is, if they're gonna play any Planeswalkers, probably gonna be Teferi. Yeah, okay. Now what we want to draw here is Serkira, a land for Serkira. Ugh, yikes. We did not draw it, and I mean, I guess I do this now. I just kill the Cadwick while they're tapped out. Put some pressure on the board. Pass turn. I mean, they can make tokens to trade with these, but if they're doing that, then we should have the way clear for Serkira to come down. Just puts them in a position where they're going to be taking a little bit of pressure, at least, on the board. Huh, okay. Well, that's not good for us. Okay. We'll attack with our 2 servos. Pass turn. Yep. We're going to try to Slaying Fire at the end of their turn to get them to counter our stuff and hopefully resolve a Serkira. I mean, we're just not in good shape here. Our opponent has 6 cards in hand, ton of mana, just better draws, to be honest, off the top of their deck. So this is like we're at like a 5%er at this point. We have to play Serkira and just hope they have no answers, and maybe she can run away with the game. Okay, draw another card. They're leaving up Absorb mana. So we're just going to try to kill this Gadwick at the end of their turn, and hopefully they'll feel like they need to save it. Okay, they're not even doing that. Sure, I think we still do kill this Gadwick.
This isn't a fight you can win. That's more
Okay,
like it.
gets rid of tokens. Ah, really wanted to draw a land there. Not good. Okay, we'll kill the Teferi. I think we just run out the Bone Crusher while they're tapped out as a creature to put some pressure on the board. I don't think we can get greedy enough to try to get 2 casts out of it. Okay, there's a Glass Casket. Yep. Okay. I'll attack the servo. Play Merchant of the Veil. This gives us something to pump mana into, at least. We end up drawing cards we can't cast. Okay, there's another Mystic Dispute. And another Opt. Okay. Still, our only realistic way is to hope they run out of answers and we can resolve this Serkira. But it's just not super likely. Okay, and also we need to actually draw a land one day. Good gosh. Yeah. We will not attack. We will light up the stage. They got a counter for that too? They do. Okay. This isn't good because what I was going to try to do is attack with a servo, get them to tap out and make a human. Okay, well they attacked with it, so that's something. So we want to attack with a servo this turn. If we draw a land, ever... Oh my, we just can't draw a land. Jeez. well, play Runaway Steam Gun. I'm gonna save that plan for the Circara. Okay, opponent's gonna counter it. Yep. And we'll pass turn. Oops. Yeah, we will not do that now. Yeah, they got enough mana now that they can make tokens and hold up counters. Okay, we're officially a third through our deck and only seen 4 lands, so that's as if we're running on a 12 land deck. So I think we're just gonna scoop it up here. We're at the point now where we can't really force through this Circara anymore. So let's just move on to the next game. Our win percentage there was like maybe, you know, like a 0.1% or something. So Unchained Berserker, was it good there? It did look good. It did. The fact that they couldn't hit it with Devout Decree or Teferi, I think, makes it worth playing. We'll go down maybe one of these merchants and just run it like that. Play first. Yeah, I guess I keep this. It's not really what our deck wants to be doing as far as, you know, having our Steamkins and trying to combo off into big mana, but we do have an Unchained Berserker, which hopefully will be difficult for them to answer, and a Fry as well to deal with an early Teferi or something. Okay, Unchained Berserker. Pass turn. I mean, they really don't have a lot of answers to this at all in their deck, do they? They have Gadwick, which can block it, but then we could fry that. They have probably running Brazen Borrower, so they could probably bounce it with that, and then counter it on the way back down. Oy, still can't hit lands, huh? We're a 23 land deck, so it's not like we're skimping on lands. Okay, yep, bounce that. Just go ahead and play it. Pass turn. They can Wrath it. They can Wrath the Unchained Berserker. But that's pretty overkill. Good. Okay. Attack with Unchained Berserker. Play Steamkin. Pass a turn. Please get a land. Please. We desperately need to get a land so we can play our Saheeli here. Sure. There's the Gadwick. Thank gosh. Okay. We're actually just gonna fry this turn. Get this Gadwick out of the way. And just hit our opponent in the face for a ton of damage. Attack for 6, and we got him down to 10. And this Slaying Fire is looking pretty good here. I mean, they can just do like Plains Rathas, but sure. That's just to deal with 2 creatures, and we still got a lot of action in hand. So Saheeli, last turn. Devout Decree. And they're leaving up an Absorb mana too. It's not the best. Okay, yeah, we just play Saheeli. I mean, they probably got a counter, but like, what we can't really. There's nothing we can do about that. We just have to play to what we can. Hope we eventually run them out of counters and can sneak through the last bits of damage here. Yep, attacks our Saheeli. Shock would be a really good draw. Oh, Gadwick. I think what we do here, we're just gonna let our Saheeli go without getting any additional value out of it, and just play the Circara and just hope they don't have an answer to the Circara. Because if they don't, we can hopefully ride it to victory. I mean, they got a lot of cards that can answer it, you know. They have this Devout Decree, which would kill it. But we gotta try. Yep, kills our Saheeli. Okay, we're just gonna ping him with Circara. She exiles the top card of our deck, which we can then play. We'll play Burning Prophet. Play Light Up the Stage. I think we don't need the Steamkin right now. Pass the turn. Sure. We can't hit our Kara, which is good. I wonder if we should take a turn off to kill this Brazen Borrower with his Kara, just to buy ourselves some more turns. We'll see. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is shoot down this Brazen Borrower. Buy ourselves a few more turns with that, and then we're gonna, at the end of our opponent's turn, Slaying Fire. Okay, now we're gonna do it now because they're tapped out. Okay. Okay, Circara, draw a card. Sure. Play land. I think we'll just fry this Gadwick. I mean, the chances that they're not going to counter here are, you know, astronomical. So, I think we're going to try to hold on to this Sundering Stroke. If we can get them to ever tap out for some reason, then we'll be very happy. Yeah, we're going to fry him now. Takes the pressure off the board at least. This almost certainly means they do have a counter, though. So I think what we have to do, I think our best chance here, we're going to run this Circara out into the counter. Hope that's the only counter they have in their hand. They won't have the mana to also scry, hopefully, and they run out this Brazen Borrower. And then kill him with a Sundering Stroke. Like, we're playing to pretty unlikely outs, but I think it's the best we can do, so... Circara. Get it countered. Oh my gosh, it lived. I guess we actually do it now, in case we... there's nothing we could draw for 1 mana, actually, now that I think about it. I was gonna say, in case we hit something that's 1 mana, but there's nothing at sorcery speed we can hit at 1 mana anyway, so might as well do it on their turn. Try to bait out a counter spell. Gosh, I guess we would have won if we went for Sundering Stroke there. Okay, I'm going to put 2 cards on top. Place a Brazen Borrower, which we will then shock. Okay, so they don't have any pressure on board, which is good. Because now even if they kill our Circara... Okay, time wipe. We're just going for it. That's what they scried at the top. They would have used it before if they didn't. So they didn't counter Circara, and they just scried that to the top. So I'm gonna hope they don't have a counter. So let's go for it. Die, please, please. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No. Oh, we did it. We've got him. Oh, Wow! Wow! Oh my gosh. Whew. What a crazy finish. So I think we played that exactly right. We just had to look for a spot to resolve Circara, use that card advantage to run them out of counters, and then when we had them as low on counters as we could, as close as we could be sure that they were out of responses, we fired off that Sundering shot to finish them. Wow. Whew. Awesome. This deck's funny. Okay, our opponent is Frederick Puy. We'll keep this. Just all removal hand, but you know what? That's good against some decks. Okay, pass turn. Alright. So our opponent's on green-black. Probably food or sacrifice, something. Okay, it's actual, literal food. Interesting. So we'll just, Slaying Fire this before they untap. I don't want them to save it somehow and start making food that they can sack to draw cards, so... Our opponent's playing food with Savvy Hunter. So this is probably a little bit of a budget deck if they're playing Savvy Hunter. Generally, she's not quite good enough to make it a non-budget deck, so I think we'll Burning Prophet here. Plan on shocking something. And pass turn. Hopefully scry into a land. Yeah, let's call it a familiar. Legion's End. Okay, I think, given that we're just overloaded on removal, I think we will shock now just to get the scry. Hit our opponent in the face for 2 and scry. Yeah, mountain. We just want to start hitting our lands here. Okay, play mountain, and pass turn. We're going to try to hit this cat when it comes back from being sacked. Opponent's not tapping. The opponent's playing around it, I guess. Let's see what they do. It does nothing, so I guess we just Bone Crusher Giant them in the face, so we can play this out next turn. Play land, play Bone Crusher Giant. Pass turn. Opponent might feel pressured enough to not play around the removal. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Sacks the cat. Okay, still playing around the removal. Yep. Bring the cat back. Okay. Yep. Kills our Bone Crusher Giant. That hitting the land is pretty painful, actually, because we want to be hitting our land drops in this deck. Okay, and yeah, I think we just Bone Crush them while we got the chance. Plan on doing this whole thing over again. Saheeli's good, but not right here. Actually, I am going to Saheeli. And we'll see what they do. They don't have enough damage on board to really deal with our Saheeli. And again, we want to start pressuring them in a way that that they feel like they can't really play their Cauldron Familiar slowly. Building a big board of 1/1s is a good way to do that. Okay. They are being very careful to play around it. Because, okay, what they're playing around, they don't want to sack their cat, get it back, and us to shock it while their Witch's Oven is tapped. Because then they can't sack it in response, and the loop is broken. So I think we're not gonna shock. We're gonna keep that 1 mana open. So let's what we're gonna do here is Slaying Fire our opponent. light up the stage. Make another 1/1. Oh, that's not good. Well, now they don't have to worry about tapping out. I expected to hit at least one land there. That's a little unfortunate. Well, next turn if we hit a land, we can Chandra plus light up the stage, which is something. We do have some defenses for our Saheeli, which is nice. And our opponent's got to start doing something impactful. They're just gaining 1 life a turn is, you know, helpful, but it's not actually keeping them in this game. What are you up to, opponent? Okay, there's the land. That's good. So I think we play Chandra, make a 1/1. Shock our opponent with Chandra. Play the mountain, light up the stage. Set ourselves up for the next turn. Oh yeah, that's very nice. And we'll just pass turn. I mean, we don't really... Is there any point to attacking? I guess we should probably attack with these two, actually. They can chump one of them with Cauldron and do their little loop to not actually lose anything, but we hit them with one at least. And we're just slowly whittling down their life total in spite of their life gain. I think the cat's the only way we've taken damage, so they're going to gain 5 life this turn. Or 5 life this game, rather. From the cat, so that's, you know, they would be at 4. Okay, there's Savvy Hunter. Gonna want to deal with that, but I mean, we have ample ways to kill the Savvy Hunter. Okay. Yeah, okay. We'll run away Steamkin. We'll make some mana with Chandra. We'll Lava Coil the Savvy Hunter. Make a 1/1, put a counter on Steamkin. We'll go to combat. Attack our opponent for 4. See what they do. I think our opponent might have flooded a bit this game. Yeah. Sure. And we can't quite kill them, so I think we... I think we just leave up Double Shock rather than play Bone Crusher Giant. I don't think Bone Crusher really changes the math about whether we win next turn or not. But Shock can potentially take care of something. Especially 2 Shocks, that should be able to kill most... Yeah, for exactly this reason. So now we get to kill our own Servo, which stops their Legion in from exiling all our other Servos. So that was good that we left the mana open instead of playing the Giant. Yep, so that does nothing. Let's see what else they do. Get the cat back, sure. And it scoops it up. Sweet. Alright. So it took down, it looks like this is food, but a little bit more budget of a food deck. So let's see, what do we want to do? We want to bring in the Reckless Airstrikes. I mean, it's good against Witch's Oven and only Witch's Oven. This creature, I mean, this deck doesn't have anything with flying, right? I wonder if this is just okay how it is. I mean, Flame Sweep might be nice in order to kill their ramp creatures, but I wonder if, maybe we just leave things how it is. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I mean, just having an instant speed answer to Cat and main deck in the form of Shock is already pretty good. We can, you know, kind of stop their loop. Potentially we should have brought in Scorching Dragonfire to deal with some Savvy Hunters. You know, Shocks aren't really good against those. Three mana instant speed removal would be a lot better there. You know, Scorching Dragonfire also has the upside of if they stop playing around removal, and we're able to hit the cat with it, then the cat is exiled. So we might bring that in game 3 if we get to that point. Yeah, we can't keep this. Okay, this is much better. This will go down. I guess a Chandra. 2 lands, we don't want to keep a 4 mana spell, I think. The Witch's Oven. Pass turn. Okay, there's her finisher. Play Steamkin. The worst thing they could have here is, you know, something to kill our Steamkin, because with no other lands, we're kind of relying on that pretty heavily to eventually give us a big boost of mana. Looks like they might have an answer for it. Okay, just play out the Savvy Hunter. Would have liked to see a land there, but we do get to kill the Savvy Hunter. I mean, they'll sack it in response, so they get a food out of the deal, but at least we stop that card draw from happening. Get in for 2. I'm gonna need to start drawing lands. Get into a precarious spot. I think they have removal for Steamkin is the thing, because they were eyeballing it. They decided to go with, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, we drew a land, so that's something at least. We'll play out our Saheeli, get this ball rolling.
I love a good challenge. This should be fun.
Okay, there's the cat. Trail of Crumbs, huh? Yeah, that's not good. Okay, we'll play out Burning Prophet. Start to get the scry going. Trail of Crumbs is gonna be a pain in the butt, though. And having an extra food is gonna mean playing around our removal isn't really necessary. Yeah. We can kill their Savvy Hunter if they play it, but they are going to get to draw a card by sacking their 2 extra foods. They might not want to do it this turn, though, because if they wait a turn, they can play the Savvy Hunter, sack the foods in response, and also draw an additional card with Trail of Crumbs by paying an extra mana. So that might be what they're considering. I mean, it's not like we got them under a lot of pressure, so... Okay, we're just going to do it this turn, sure. Okay. So we will Slaying Fire the Savvy Hunter. They get to draw a card, sure. They don't get to pay the extra mana to draw cards with Trail of Crumbs, which is important. I wonder if they just don't do it. If they just don't sack the foods to draw a card. Because they would rather draw 2 cards eventually with them, with Trail of Crumbs. Yeah, they just don't do it. Interesting, okay. Make a 1-1, I guess Bone Crusher's fine. And we'll get in for 2. Our opponent gets to sack and yada yada yada. But, that's okay. This forces them to kind of go down a food when they bring their cat back, because they couldn't sack it in response. So, it kind of makes up for the extra food we gave them by them being able to sack the Savvy Hunter in response. Yeah, bring back the cat. Spawn of Mayhem, Okay. We will stomp our opponent's face, make a 1-1. Yeah, we'll keep the mountain. We do want to hit this Sundering Stroke. We'll get in with our 2 creatures. Attack, attack. Play Bone Crusher. And pass turn. Yeah, draw a card, and they get to turn on their Spectacle for the Spawn of Mayhem by pinging us for 1. Pretty good. Okay. We will attack with everything. Okay, so we do get to kill the Spawn of Mayhem, which is good. Yep. Make a 1/1 scry. Yep, we'll keep the mountain because that gets us to our Sundering Stroke. Mountain and pass turn. We're just kind of getting buried under this Trail of Crumbs. I think we are going to bring in the Reckless Airstrike. Just because this combo of Witch's Oven and Trail of Crumbs, I almost feel like this is the only thing in their deck that's actually going to beat us, right? If they can just keep making food and keep drawing cards. Okay, there's a Nissa. We're going to be able to kill that with Sundering Stroke, at least.
Rise, my elemental.
Yeah, we'll block there. Okay, and now we will Sundering Stroke. 7 damage here, 7 damage here, and 7 damage here. Big Kablowie. So I don't know. I don't know if our opponent's actually on a budget deck because they got these Mythics and these Nissas, or if they're just maybe missing a few pieces of a more tiered deck. Wow, they didn't even sack in response. Okay, we'll attack with everything. We're kind of at the mercy of the top of our deck now. I'm not liking where we're at because our opponent's going to start drawing a lot of cards, but there are draws we have that can really help us out here. Pass turn. I think card advantage is what we want the most, so something like Circara or Light Up the Stage, something like that would be really good here. Ooh, another Spawn of Mayhem. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Not a budget deck. Yikes. Well, I think we play Burning Prophet. I don't think we attack. I think we try to set ourselves up for winning next turn with a Sundering Stroke. I think that's the only way we win, is with some Sundering Stroke combo. So if we can top deck a Sundering Stroke specifically, because these things hit our opponent too. So, okay, I'm just going to gain some life. If they attack with a Cauldron Familiar, we actually just lose here, I think. Because if we block the Cauldron Familiar, it dies and they get it back. Okay, our opponent's just gaining a bunch of life. That's good too, because it pretty much takes away our only out, which was Sundering Stroke. I mean, it's not impossible. We'll see how they attack. Oh, we drew it too. So 7, 7, 7, 7. Yep, we're gonna do it. 7, 7, 7. Hit our opponent. 7s across the board. Bang, bang, bang. We get to scry. We will definitely scry that land to the bottom. Wow, they hadn't gained life that turn. If they had just attacked with their Spawn of Mayhems and played out a couple creatures or something, they'd be dead here. So maybe our opponent just next leveled us. Still a good play here, though, and I think we still have ways to win this game. Okay, our opponent does sack 1 in response. We will attack with everything. Opponent can chump to stay alive. But they're down to 4, and we did get to scry a land out of the way, so hopefully we draw something good next turn. Witches up, and it's pretty good. That means we're going to be gaining 2 life a turn. Draw cards up this Trail of Crumbs too. Drawing cards isn't really what we're worried of at this point. So it looks like we'll probably play a land, play Nissa. Ooh, okay. Okay. That's a little rough, but okay. Wow. Okay, they're just gonna keep gaining life. Unfortunately, we don't have a third Sundering Stroke because of our budget, so we've used them both. So we don't have an out in top decking that. We just want card advantage, I think, so we can start drawing a bunch of land. Crap. Okay, we'll attack here. Can feel it slipping away though. They're gonna play Nissa next turn, start making a ton of lands. I mean, making a ton of mana and playing all their hand out. This double Witch's Oven is gonna kind of crawl them out of dangerous life range. Pass turn.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any chance here? No. Okay, we're dead. Opponent could just gain a ton of life, and we're out of answers that can deal with it, so we'll scoop it up here. Rather than have this drag on a few more turns that we can't possibly win. So we almost had it there. We were in a position to almost take it down, but we just couldn't quite get there. So I think we do bring in these Reckless Airstrikes, because if we could have answered that oven, our opponent would be dead like 10 times over. What is that noise? You hear that? It's like a squishing noise whenever... What is that? Okay, whatever. So bring in those Reckless Airstrikes. I guess Scorching Dragonfires. And we'll go down... Maybe I don't know, Sling Fire. We do need to answer those 4/4s in the air. I guess we go down a couple Shocks. And maybe a Saheeli and a Burning Prophet. Or a Saheeli and a Chandra. And we'll run it like that. Play first. I don't think so. I don't think we can keep this one. So we'll mulligan. Yeah, this is much better. Much better. Go down. I guess a Sundering Stroke. As painful as that is, because we've only got 2, and we really don't have a way to shuffle our deck. So we've only got 1 we're digging towards now, but I think we just need stuff to do early in the game. Now that we have this Runaway Steamkin. Steamkin. Hope they don't have the Legion's End. Okay, Paradise Druid. It's not so bad. Yeah, I think we'll just pass a turn. Bone Crusher Giant them in the face, most likely. Again, we'd like to see some card advantage. Okay. Paradise Druid. Yep. Okay, Bone Crush him in the face. And we'll play Bone Crusher, counter on a runaway, and because they're struggling on lands, we are just going to offer the trade here. They want to double block. They do not. Okay. Opponent could go Nissa here, which would be, yeah. We do have a, we can't just kill the Nissa, so it's not the end of the world.
Behold, nature's true power.
Nah. It's mostly inconvenient. I wonder if we just go at our opponent's face here. I think I'm gonna do it. This might be a mistake. This might be a mistake because this Nissa is gonna give them just a ton of mana next turn when they would really be struggling. You know, we could go after we could kill their Nissa and one of their Paradise Druids, and they would be down to 3 mana. But otherwise, we can hit them for 8 here. Slaying Fire gets them down to 3 life. I think... if we just had a little card advantage or something. This Nissa just completely turns on their deck. Jeez, man. Okay, we're just gonna kill their Nissa. Yeah, we're just gonna kill their Nissa. And kill one of their Paradise Druids. We could have got them down to 3. And if we end up top decking some 30 mana burn spell, it's gonna feel really bad. But I think taking them down, we just knocked them off so much mana. Yeah, so they're stuck on 3 mana here. Yeah, we'll just Lava Coil the Savvy Hunter. Get in for 8. And pass turn. Okay, so the card casting the Spawn of Mayhem. We didn't want to draw a land there. I think we... I think we don't attack. The Spawn of Mayhem's going to be pinging them on its own. So that's something. Okay, Witch's Oven does give them a way to get rid of their Spawn of Mayhem before it kills them. And also gain some life. Another Steamkin. Yep, play the other Steamkin. And pass turn. Sundering Stroke. Come on, buddy. Come on, Sundering Stroke. You got it, buddy. Trail of Crumbs. Okay. Okay, so they're just gonna gain some life here, sure. Ugh, come on. Not like this. Anything would be good here. We just need anything. No attacks. Come on now. Anything. Vraska's not good.
Wherever I go, I leave bodies in my
Yeah.
way. I won't forgive this.
Hit for 7. I mean, we're dead next turn. Come on, come on, come on. Don't do it us like this. We just need anything. Come on. Ugh. That's game. Jeez. Well, we got pretty unlucky there, I think. We just hit so many lands in a row. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, unfortunate. So this was a fun and pretty surprisingly effective deck. I think it is missing in a few areas because of our budget, which I'll talk about how to potentially fix here in a second. But all in all, we really got to do what we wanted to do. We got to, you know, get in some early damage and then build up to a Sundering Stroke, which a lot of the times just won us the game. Occasionally, we couldn't quite get there. Our opponent maybe pulled too far ahead while we were building up the Sundering Stroke, but or we just kind of ran out of gas, which is something that can hopefully be helped if you kind of stretch the budget a bit. But in general, this is a pretty fun deck. Pretty great when you actually got the thing to go off and hit your opponent in the face for a ton of damage. So yeah, I had a blast, and let's move on to talk about upgrades now. So the biggest thing this deck was missing was card advantage. We found ourselves multiple times where we were just sort of like kind of pulling stuff off the top of our deck, just kind of hoping we would pull into our few card advantage spells, Light Up the Stage and Circara. And I think pulling in more rares for card advantage is a good idea. So something like Chandra Fire Artisan would be pretty good. This gives us basically an extra draw every turn, and with all of our kind of early game removal, we kind of play like a control deck where we're lava coiling things and shocking things and slaying fire things to kind of clear the way, get our opponent's answers out of the way. And then if we land something like Chandra Fire Artisan and just sort of proceed to draw a bunch of extra cards, I think that'll help us a lot with actually getting our Sundering Stroke to go off and not kind of falling behind. Another thing that might be good in this card advantage vein would be Bag of Holding. Like this is just something you can play early, and just as we're removing our opponent's threats and sort of stabilizing, doing some early game damage, we're sort of building up this Bag of Holding, and then when we finally kind of run out of things to do, we can crack it and pull it all back to our hand. And if we did pull this in, there could be more red effects we have, looting effects that we could take advantage of. Like maybe this Merchant of the Veil would be slightly better, be worth running in addition to the Bag of Holding. There's a lot of looting effects in red, where if we had a few copies of this, they might be more worth it. Another big thing we could add is Chandra Awakened Inferno. This is maybe moving away from the Sundering Stroke plan, which is a lot of where the fun of this deck is. Just hitting a fool in the face for 7 damage is just kind of hilarious. But this might just be a better card, to be honest, in terms of like kind of where you end up at the top of your curve in a big red deck like this. So if you're interested in like big red as a concept, but not necessarily the Sundering Stroke part of it, it might be better to kind of look at the Chandra Awakened Inferno, doing something like getting in for a bunch of damage early and using your runaway Steamkins to pump out an early Chandra on like turn 4 or whatever. Or, again, Chandra Novice Pyromancer and minusing her up into Chandra Awakened Inferno. That's pretty powerful because you can just wipe the board, you can remove pretty much any creature, and then you're just ticking up to kill your opponent. And importantly, is uncounterable, which is actually kind of relevant in a meta that's kind of dominated by a bunch of blue-red and blue-green flash. And then there's an obvious upgrade, Bone Crusher Giant. Really, this is a great card. It's one of the most played cards in Standard for a reason. And it's great in our deck because it just gives us, it's something we can do that's just powerful on its own, but also if we're doing what we do and we're making a lot of mana, it's sort of a payoff because we can kind of do both halves of it early instead of sort of splitting them up over multiple turns if we are making a lot of mana. It's also 2 red spells in 1 for our Runaway Steamkin, so yeah, if you can just bump this up to 4, almost definitely worth it. And then the last upgrade isn't really super impactful, but it's basically free. If you've got Castle Embereths, just throw them in here. We're not really a deck that takes super huge advantage of it. We're not like going really wide or really super aggressive. But I mean, when your mana base is all mountains, why not, right? This is basically a free card to play in a mono red deck, and there may be, every once in a while you run into a situation where it's useful, and because it's basically no cost in terms of putting it in your deck instead of a mountain, there's really no reason not to. So yeah, if you have any of these, just throw them in. Maybe not 4, that might be a little clunky, but at least like 2 or 3 I would give a shot. So that pretty much sums it up. So let me know if you give the deck a try, and I hope you enjoyed watching because this was a blast to play. So yeah, see you next time.